Where's My Mind by scrunklyism. Richie Tozier was completely, utterly fucked. Like more fucked up than being Jewish, smarter than most, and a loser in a small town. Like possibly more fucked than being hunted down by an alien killer clown from the sewers fucked. Richie always joked about being lovers with Eddie's mom. He always joked about getting confessions on the daily from girls, even though the closest he would get to a confession from a girl was pretending to date Bev for shits and giggles. Everyone in Derry thought he was gay. He was an easy target looking like that. And all this was fine, completely fine, except they were right. Richie Tozier was gay. And the worst part of that is him being in love with Eddie fucking Kasprack, his closest friend, his closest best friend. Richie was even more fucked than when he beat the shit out of an interdimensional clown with a bat. And yet, despite of all the logical parts of his brain giving him all the red flags and warning signs one could make, he wanted to say something like an idiot. Richie was smart, so he knew that confessing to his best friend, who was also a boy in a town with a measly population of 2,649, would be a bad idea, right? Right. He completely knew how absolutely fucked he was in this situation. Yet something deep down inside him was telling him to just jump off, take the risk, and if you fall, make do with what's down there. But Richie Tozier knew he could never have a happy ending, not in Derry at least. Maybe in a big city like New York or Ontario or Atlanta, he could live a happy life in a small apartment with the love of his life, and a dog even. But that was his dreams. This was reality. His reality would be long stares when he should be paying attention to whoever is speaking. His reality is at the spark in Richie's chest when all the losers are pressed against each other in whoever's room, and Eddie's knee is touching his and their shoulders are touching when really they don't need to be this close. His reality was them going to an arcade, spending all day playing Street Fighter, even though Eddie knew his mom would get mad at him. But he didn't care because it was worth it to spend time with Richie. It was worth it. It would be worth it. Because if it all fails and Eddie doesn't like him back, which would probably happen, it will happen in any reasonable scenario, he can just go back to before the losers and just be a loser, but alone. A heartbreaking but honest reality. And maybe there was something majorly wrong with Richie. Maybe fighting that clown in the summer before 8th grade had fucked with his brain chemistry because like an idiot, Richie Tozier was biking to Eddie Kasprack's house to confess, like an idiot. But maybe if it was any other loser, any other person, he would have shut up and ignored it for the rest of his life. But it was Eddie. It was the guy who was so small yet so angry, and also incredibly adorable. It was the only loser who always matched Richie's speed and conversation. It was the boy who he always stared at too long, the boy he would die for. Richie was so lost in his thoughts he didn't even realize it started raining, or he didn't even have a coat, or that he was now drenched in rain until he got to Eddie's house. Thank the heavens Mrs. Kasprack wasn't home. Eddie opened the door for the taller boy, confused. Richie, why are you here? He checked his watch. It's 9:14 at night. What's going on? Oh, sorry. I didn't even realize where I was going. This is stupid. I'll leave you alone now. Bye. But before Richie could even think about going back home, Eddie pulled him inside to his kitchen. Jesus, Rich, did you bike all the way over here in the rain? Eddie said, concerned, venturing into various rooms of his house looking for something, presumably a towel to dry off Richie. Yeah, I didn't even realize it was raining. He stood there awkwardly, leaning against the counter. Eddie emerged with a light gray towel, throwing it in Richie's hand so he could dry off. So, what were you actually gonna tell me? And don't give me that unimportant bullshit. I know it's important. Well, geez, if you put it like that, I guess I have to. He stared at the ground anxiously, slowly placing his glasses on his face after cleaning them off. What I'm gonna say might be very shocking, and you will probably definitely hate me after I say this, so just brace yourself, okay? Okay, so I know Jerry isn't the most open-minded of places, but Eddie stared at him. Was this what he thought it was? To rip the band-aid off, I think I'm gay and I am most definitely in love with you, and I am so sorry because I know you will hate me even though I'm your best friend. And he trailed off, waiting for Eddie's reaction. Richie, before the taller boy could answer him, he put both hands on his freckled face and kissed him on the mouth. He kissed back. Of course he kissed back. It was objectively the best moment of both their lives. It was everything Richie had dreamed of and more. Richie Tozier was in love with Eddie Kasprack in the best way possible, in the finely requited way, in the I just got kissed by the love of my dreams way. The taller boy just stood there, blushing. Eddie giggled. Go change into a shirt that doesn't smell like rain, asshole. And maybe just this once they could have a happy ending. Just this once they could kiss and not be afraid of what the other would think of them. Just this once they could be with each other.